Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to a stream. Welcome to I believe it's part 4. Working on this guy right there. That's our Polish PL-01 prototype tank. It's made by Tacom. It's a 1/35th scale model kit. We're on part 4, so I'll run the intros and we'll get started. Well, we saw last time we got our little machine gun finished. It's not actually finished, but we finished on that particular page of the manual. You guys already know we've got the main hull and the tracks all done. Okay, that's done. That's ready for some paint. So, what are we going to do today? Today we're going to finish off our machine gun. Let me change the camera here and we will get started, shall we? Okay. Okay, so we flip our page over. We've still got our little ammo, I don't know what you call it, the ammo belt to go in on this guy. Okay, so let me change my glasses so I can see what I'm doing. And we will get going on this. So we need G1 and G2. So grab our G tree here. I think we just might get close to getting this finished. Here's 1 and 2 right here, these two little guys. We're getting close to getting finished on the assembly. From what I see in the book anyway, in the manual, we've only got like 2 pages left. So that tells, and on this particular sprue, you know, this is the only sprue left in the box and there's not a lot on here. So we just might get the assembly done. Of course, that doesn't mean the kit is done, especially with the paint scheme that I am going to be doing on this guy, which I will show you a bit later. Okay, glue, probably going to need both my glues. I'll need that over here, I'm going to need this. Okay, so we're supposed to take the nubs off of this, clean this up. This one has a bit of a curve on it. I don't know if you can really see. If I can get this up closer, you might be able to see the curve on this one right there. See, it's curved, okay? That one goes up top and it curves down to this guy. And his orientation is supposed to have this curve on it like this. Okay, as you can see in the picture. So you want to kind of follow that as closely as you can and put these together. It looks like we've got little nubs that are supposed to line up if we have it correct. I say if because I'm not 100% positive. I don't think the nubs are supposed to be there. It's not actually a nub, it's a little tab. And they want that tab facing away from it. But that's not where it's it contradicts the way this goes. But anyway, I'm going to try and line them up as good as I can. And we'll see how this goes. Although in the diagram here, clearly this is where they connect. And they've drawn a bit of a gap there. Almost like that's supposed to be like that.
Eventually.
Sometimes it's all just a little trial and error, right? Okay, let's let that cure for a minute. Alright, so that's had a moment to cure. So yeah, it's really going to limit how this gun can move. It's basically going to freeze the gun in place unless I just have it dangle. If I just let it dangle, then the gun's just going to, then the gun can move. But if I decide that I'm going to have to let that cure for a few minutes before I do anything with it, which means I'm going to move on to this. Okay, we'll let that ammo belt cure just the way it is, and here's one thing I kind of hate doing. Sometimes when I put the extra thin on it, it kind of reactivates it and makes it fall apart. It did not do that this time, so I'm happy. Okay, let's move on to this. Off of our A tree, which is these guys here. A7 and A15, we need 2. These are number 7s, and these are number 15s. Looks like we are going to be doing this twice. Okay, B and C, just like that. It would be kind of nice if they did something that they do. Sometimes you'll see it in the Revell kits where they give you a list of the description of what all the parts are. They did that with when I did the Foos F100. Hey Uella, is that Blitzwing? Blitzwing? No, not quite. Blitzwing was a totally different tank. I believe Blitzwing was what kind of? He was a Russian tank. I cannot remember what Russian tank Blitzwing was, but he was modeled after a Russian tank. An old Russian tank, World War II, I believe, anyway. I want to say like a T-72 or something like that. But yeah, sorry, not definitely not after this one. Maybe if Michael Bay had done it, Michael Bay maybe have done Blitzwing off of this tank or something like that. Next, G24 and 26. That's going to be these. Well, we'll do G24 first, because we got 25 also, which is going to be the next one. And then 26. Okay. T-55, yeah, there you go. I think that's what Blitzwing was. It's the T-55. There's the big tanks on the back of it. Okay, so these two are going to go together. They're flat piece going just like that. Okay, that's simple enough. Let's get some glue going here. Around the perimeter with it. Okay. There we go. And then we're going to take these guys and they're going to go together. Just like that. Okay. One. You know, funny enough, you mentioned Transformers. I have seen that you can actually buy models of transformers from Transformers, I think it was the Bumblebee movie. Okay, so we have a couple of indents, one on each side, here and here, and that's where these little tabs are going to go into, and they're going to go in like that. Okay, so I'll use this glue and just put a little dab on that tab. And glue him in just like that. Okay. And he goes the same way. Okay. So there's one. Okay. That's this guy. Right there. Okay. So that one's done. And we're going to do this again. Okay. But with our other A tree. So that's this one. Let's get our parts off of here. Okay. Okay. Again, that cap on there. Move it on. Pressed in nice and tight. There we go. If we get far enough in this video, I might actually get to priming everything and getting prepared for our camouflage pattern. Okay, so that's done. We go back to our G tree and get our two pieces. Those together. Put those together. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now we put these ones on. Again. You might be wondering why I'm switching between the two different glues. Basically, there are some parts where I don't want to get a glob of glue showing, because around this edge here, I don't want to put the glue on the inside in case some squeezes out and then they can see the glue. And that's why I don't use the thick stuff for that. But for places like this where it's literally just stuck onto the side, this thicker glue dries a little bit slower and kind of melts the plastic a little more, and so it holds a little stronger. At the same time, it's in a spot where it's not going to squeeze out on me because I'm using it sparingly, and so it's going to hold these two pieces on the side really nice and solid, while at the same time it's not squeezing out the sides. So that's why I'm choosing to kind of switch between the two. Anyway, that's our two there done, just like that. Okay, so we switch down to here. We've got this little contraption to assemble. Let's see, so we need G2, 22 and 21. It looks like we've got photo etch parts that are supposed to go on this, But of course my kit did not come with any. So these are little details that mine's going to lack. But looking at these parts, they don't look like they're really adding very much. It's just a very minor little detail to the edge of this piece. So, I don't really care too much. So let's grab G21 and 22. 21 and 22, where are you? I don't see you. 21 and 22. Oh, because they're not on here. They're here. These two guys. Yeah. So the photo etch would be going on right on the edge here on that piece. There and there. Same thing on these sides. There and there. It's a very small, minor little thing. I don't think... I'm really not sad about the lack of photo etch. What I don't like is how this one is held on to this. These are huge nubs. There we go. And this one obviously is a peg. It's not shown in the diagram, but that doesn't matter. We want F1 and then K7. K, of course, is our clear tree. K7. This particular guy here. Now, F1 is a little box, and to be honest, I don't recall an F tree in this kit. So what is F? Because I don't have anything left. These are off of the A tree. None of these are a little box. And I've got some leftover tracks from the V tree. This is G, definitely not F, and there's definitely not any little box left. Check my box. There's nothing in here except the upper and lower hull. Oh, here we go. One last piece that is missing. This guy here. There we go. I believe this came out from the inside of the upper hull. Or maybe it was the lower hull. I don't know. They assign it a letter even though there wasn't one. Okay. So, first thing we'll do, we'll put our clear piece in the end. Like this. Goes on there. I don't know, it doesn't look like there's an up, well, maybe there is an upper and lower, but we cannot tell because we don't see the back of it in the picture, so I don't know which is up and which is down. I do not know. So I'm going to do this. I'm just going to choose an up and a down because I do not know which is which. Can't tell my ups and my downs. Okay, so there's that. Our little box has a lens on it now. And then we have these guys. These guys are supposed to go together. Like so. While at the same time, this guy is supposed to slot in. There's a little slot. If I can grab it here. There's a little slot right there. Right where the knife is pointing. There's a little slot right there. And that's where the tabs on the sides of this are supposed to go in. So, let's just pick one here. I'll take this one. And it's supposed to go in like this. Okay, so take a little dab of glue right there. Just kind of glue him in like that. Okay. All right. And then we'll take this guy. A little dab of glue on there. And put him like this. Make sure we're lined up at the bottom. There we go. And now we can glue the bottom. Just like that. And we've got our little guy in his new home, ready for installation. Okay, so that's this. Now we're going to do our gun barrel. G28 and 29 is the actual barrel itself. That's these two. The detail on them is nice. But because the barrel tip itself is exposed, so I've cut the nub off pretty large on that because I want to clean it up as best as I can. If the installation will allow me, I'm going to put the actual nub on the bottom of it, but I don't know yet, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to try and clean up these nubs as best as I can. I'm going to use my razor file, glass file, to clean up these nubs like I would if it was a Gundam kit. And man, it just cleans it up like, I gotta tell you, some people say, oh, it's just a nail polishing glass file, but you know, it is beautiful. Okay, let's do a little test fit on this. It is nice that it's a almost fully hollow barrel. You can see right through all the fluting on it. It looks nice. Unfortunately, the way it is, we've got a nub on the nub is on this side on this one, and the nub is on this side on this one. So either way we look at it, we're going to have a nub on the top. So, and there is a little bit of play. It's not a super precise thing. So, and then of course we have this issue. I don't think it's supposed to. Just make sure I do have it. Yes. So it looks like they've designed it so that there's a step on this edge here. See that? If I get my hand out of the way, you can see the step on this edge. That is obviously intentional on their part. So I'm just going to line up our two barrel halves as best as I can. Run some glue along the edge. I believe I'm doing this right on the edge of the camera, so I'm sorry about that. Just going to try and line up these as best as I can so there's no step, nice and smooth. I don't think I'm going to have to really do anything to take away the seam on these. It looks pretty good. And once we've got paint on it, I don't think it's going to be noticeable. So that's that. Next we have G8 and 9, which is the main barrel, although these are, it's not really the barrel itself, it's just it's like some guarding around the barrel Speaking of which, based on these two big round knobs, it looks like our barrel is going to be movable, going like this. Again, we got a sharp edge here. It's not really undergated, or maybe it is undergated. Gotta remove that. No, see, we got that sticking up. I want to get that nice and clean off of there. Same with this one. This side doesn't matter. This is going to be tucked underneath the turret. This edge, of course, yep, it's undergated, but it's only partially undergated. This one's not at all. Okay, so I want to get these edges nice. Even on this edge. It's not a very nice transition there where the nub was. So I'm hoping that's the underside of the barrel. It doesn't look like it's going to be. This is going to be the top, I believe. So see that step there? I don't like that. So I'm going to see if I can file that a little smooth on there. Steps like that I don't like. So I want to shave that down. I don't like steps. Okay, so these are going to go together just like this. It's actually really tight, so I don't want to quite close it off because I want to see how this is supposed to go in. It looks like, yeah, it fits in a certain way. See, it locks in like that. I like the fact that I can put these two together first and then put the barrel tip in. See, is it supposed to sit just like this? Okay. I could glue that in first, but since I don't have to, I'm not going to. I'm going to put these together first so that I can work on them. Because this peg is such a tight fit in that hole, I'm going to put some glue on that peg. Or I'll just put it across the hole here. Doink. Glue sometimes acts as a lubricant. Actually, it always acts like a lubricant when trying to fit in the pegs like that. And it'll fit in nice and smooth, just like that. Okay, now that's in, we'll run some glue along our edge. The rest of it. Again, sorry if I'm doing this stuff off camera. I really gotta fix that problem. Doing all this right at the bottom of the screen off camera for you guys. That's a bad habit, isn't it? Okay, I want to run glue along the edge here. Right on our tip. Get that glued nice. And then I'll put a little bit of sandpaper just to fix this edge here, especially this side. There we go, there's our main one. I want to sand this edge just a little bit. I don't want to round it off. It's supposed to be a nice sharp angle, but just to smoothen it up just a little bit. There we go. That feels better. Okay. Now this here, we actually have a little bit of a gap. I want to put some putty in there. I want to fill this gap up. I know it's a very tiny little thing and it's not going to be noticeable, but in the event that I actually pay attention to it, if I see that, I'm not going to like that. Okay, so barrel goes in that position there. So let's put some glue in. Let's do this. Slather it on there. Put her in the hole, and she's in. Wipe away a little bit of excess where I touched. There we go. So that's it. There's our barrel. Our barrel is done. Just like that. Okay. Done. So that's all of our little tidbits. Now we're going to grab our upper hull. Or sorry, the upper turret. Upper half of the turret. This guy here. First things first, we'll get rid of this piece in the middle here. Get rid of that. And we'll clean up our center here as best as I can. I believe our machine gun is going to mount up on this circle anyway, but they've designed this so that the machine gun is going to be able to swivel, looks like anyway. And so we're going to take A12, we got 3 of them. It looks like all 3 of our pieces are going to swivel on this, or at least they're designed to. A12, we need 3 of them. We got 2 on this particular sprue. Oh, let's do A13 first. A13 is going to go on the tips here and here. A13 and 14. That's these 2 guys here. So, let's grab these. I'm curious what these are. Because we've got the smoke grenades. That's 14, right? Yeah, so that's 14 right there. We got the smoke grenades that are just underneath the machine gun. So I'm curious what these are. One of my A12s has decided it wants to try and disappear on me by falling on the floor. I'm going to see if he was successful. Were you successful in disappearing? Let me grab my phone/flashlight. It looks like he did disappear. So I'm not even going to bother trying to find him right now. So we've got 1. Anyway, let's do this. 14. Two little tabs to line it up right on the tip. Right there. Doesn't really line up unless I've got it upside down. which is very possible. So he's going to sit like that, but I want to say he's not supposed to sit off of it, it's supposed to sit flush. So because the little holes are not lining up with the tabs, I'm just going to shave these tabs off so that it sits flush. I don't know the purpose of these. I just know with a tank that's supposed to be stealthy, why is there something that's causing this to stick off of it? It's got to be the design. Of the actual build. So just make sure it's straight up and down. There we go. And I actually should have cleaned it up before installing. There we go. Okay, so that one's on. It's not much of a, it's just a very minor little detail. If I get that on camera for you. Sorry, there we go. Right there. That little piece. It's supposed to go on these little tabs, but they didn't line up. We'll see if they line up on this side. First I'll make sure this one's cleaned up though. This one seems to have come off the sprue a lot cleaner. Let's just see. You see, this one fits flush, so I don't know what the problem was with the other one. This one fit flush, no problem at all. So, there we go. There we go, there's that one on. Okay. Right there. Okay, so that's those. Now I've got one poly cap. Let's start with one. We've got our two guys on the sides here. So this is C. This one's supposed to go on this side. And we'll put it in the direction it's showing, like this, through here, like that. And then we're supposed to put the pulley cap in. But it's not even pulley cap, it's just put the cap on. Like that. And that's how it's going to sit. And of course he's, yay, helicopter. But without glue, that means he's not permanent, and anything happens, he can come off. I want to see, because of the painting process, I need to see if I have access to the inside of this when I put the lower hull in. Because if I can leave these bits off, I will. But if by doing this I suddenly don't have access, like, I don't know how I'm going to get my cap in there, even if I grab it with tweezers and do this. How do I keep from getting glue on in there? So I could get away with this one on top, but these two on the sides, yeah, that would be a nightmare. And then same with the machine gun, to get my little cover that's supposed to go in through there. That's going to be a nightmare in itself. So some caps got to go on and some get to wait. So anyway, that was this one on this side. I don't think it really matters which side is which. I don't think it really matters. So a little dab of glue right there. One thing that is nice about this glue is if you do get a little bit on there, just keep moving the part around. If you do happen to get a little too much glue on that, just keep spinning this. Okay, I feel like I did actually get a little bit, so I'll just keep spinning this, because this glue, once it starts to set, it doesn't like to be moved. So if you just keep doing this, the glue won't cure, and it won't glue your part permanently, right? You can see that I've got some resistance. It's not spinning. That's because I got glue on it. But I keep doing this, the glue won't get a chance. The glue's going to cure, but it won't cure this, right? And actually a little bit of resistance is kind of what I want. Okay, so we'll just do this for a minute or so until that's cured. I'll leave it and I'll come back to a minute. Okay, I'll get the another polycap off here. Okay, I keep calling it a polycap. It's not a polycap, it's just a cap. Okay, see, it's kind of wanting to glue, but it can't because I keep moving it. Okay, so put this one in. Again, a little tiny bit of glue just right on the tip, like that. See, this one spins because I didn't get any glue. This one's better now. This will spin now. This one's like, yee-haw, let's have a helicopter race. But this one, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna have to mask these guys off when I do my painting, but that's fine. No big deal. Okay, this one here, this is where this one goes. He goes in up here. This one's actually a tight fit. He doesn't want to fit. That is tight. I don't even need that. That's tight. That's too tight, actually. I mean, it's nice to have tight, but you don't want it so tight that you can't get it in. Where's the fun in that? That's better. Still not quite. I'm going to find a drill bit, see if I can get a drill bit in there that's a little bit nicer. How about this guy? Yeah. I do have one drill bit out that's pretty big that I might be able to. Yeah, I don't want to really bore it out like that. That's too much. But this one, this one's pretty big, so I can kind of do a little bit of an angle to kind of bore it out a little bit. There we go. See, now he spins just as easy as the other guys. And that's what I want. But I can actually wait because I've got access to that hole. So he's going to go to the side. Let's see about this. G23. It's our little round piece here. This guy goes in just on the inside like this. Like that. And look how much play you've got there. But because of ejector pin stuff, we've got fit issues. And of course my knife is not well suited for that. So, file. Let's get our ejector pins smoothed out here. Sometimes so big you can't even get at them. Fortunately, my file has a file edge on the tip also. All right. And we have ejector pin marks on this too, but they are sunken, so they don't matter. Put that in there. Now we turn, no problem. And woo, yay. And so we're supposed to glue this guy down onto him like that. So basically, he fits in just perfectly like that, and then it goes in. So we're looking at them like this. This circle goes on the inside of that one. So that tells you which one to glue. Okay, we're going to glue on the inside of this. Okay, we can put in here and then glue it on the inside. So let's find a nice spot to hold that with our finger. And we're going to put a little glue here and a little glue here, right on the inside of it. And then we can drop this down on there, and we'll just hold it, and we're going to have that no problem. Give that a sec to cure, and she'll hold. Okay, that's going to finish this page off. Okay, I've got a few minutes. Let's take a look at the next page. Let's just get all our nubs off of there. Okay, so with the exception of our ammo belt and this guy here, that's only what's left to put on here, right? So let's flip the page and see. Oh, we've got some nice color art of different models that Matt Tacom makes, but we're not worried about those right now. Alright, so we've got, our other two A13s go on the lower hull. Where did I put that lower hull? Over here. So I got a big nub I need to clean up off of this. Just like that. Any other nubs? Yep. Right there. And here too. Let's grab my razor file and clean these. Even though it's on the underside of it, not really going to be seen, still want to make sure it's a nice transition. There we go. Okay, so A13 we're supposed to put here and here. So we grab the other A13s off of this other sprue. These two here. I'm going to go over the hour mark. You guys know I like to do an hour-long video, right? I try not to go beyond an hour on my videos, but I'm going to today, just because we're so close to finishing this. I'm going to go over an hour. Okay, so our two A13s, in similar fashion to the upper part of the turret, go on here, and he fits good. Okay, just like that right there. Okay, let's check this side. You're going to be like the upper turret and upper half and not fit. No, you fit. So it was just that one side. Just that one side, for whatever reason, on the mold. This one preferred to stick to my finger instead of the part. Now it doesn't want to go in its home. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Alright, so those are on each side there. And then we've got this guy here. I'm not sure what this is telling me to do. It looks like don't use a floppy disk drive. And they're not telling me what part this is. Oh, we're assembling it up here. G13 and 14 with K8. It's our last two parts on the sprue. Yeah, really. Let's clean this up. I don't know what's going to be visible on this. And I don't know what that symbol represents. It's got an X through it, which tells me, you know, there's something, don't something. It might tell me at the beginning of the manual what all the symbols mean throughout, but right now I don't know. Okay, so these two go together like this. Yeah. There isn't any guide pins or anything holding them together. So it's just a matter of lining them up. Say, I caught you, you trying to disappear on me like the other pieces. I'm going to put a little dab of glue just right here. And that is going to help you stay in place whether you like it or not. See, all of a sudden I can align it. Isn't that funny how that works? I actually have a little bit of flashing on this, right there. Clean that up. Basically, you're supposed to have it lined up so it's nice and smooth transition from the one part to the next. And that's what I got going on right now, so that's nice. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here just to help it out. Okay, there's that. K8 looks like our final clear part right here. Which means that's done. And that goes in with the big, there's some detail on this part. You want to have the big circle facing this side. And it's supposed to go in right here. Whoop. Oh, whoop. Now that one did hit the floor. I gotta try and find that now. Hopefully that one didn't bounce too far.
Moments later.
Okay. just wants to fall through every time. It's just not very nice of it. Stop it. Okay, we're going to do a similar thing. Put a little dab of glue right there, just to give it some resistance. How many times can we drop this piece? That's the question of the day. So I want it to fit flush. As it doesn't want to fit flush, just get it to squeeze in there. There we go. Finally. There we go. It's finally flush in there. I'll glue that on all the edges. There. Our piece is glued in. Just like that. Finally. Alright, I found that other cap. Yay. I did have another one anyway. Okay, so I think what they're trying to tell me here is not to glue these knobs. Okay? This guy is supposed to go in like this. And now looking at it, I got a big nub right there that needs to be cleaned up. Okay. So our gun barrel is going to go in like this. So, and they're saying don't glue this, right? Because we want to be able to turn it. And I see right away we've got a little bit of issue right there. I want this kind of a clean transition as the barrel turns around. Just kind of a parting seam that's causing a little resistance. So let's just clean that up. There we go. There's our gun barrel. Okay, that's going to sit in there. And then this piece that I've been fighting with for a little bit, let's just remove this. Piece I've been fighting with is going to sit in here. And it's going to go in like this and sit in there like this. Kind of like that. So I'm going to put a bunch of glue on the bottom here where it sits. Like that. And lined up in there. So he can be happy in his new home. Just like that. Okay, it's like that. And then we'll put our barrel in. Just like that. And then the top goes on. So we've got our non-glued in guys and our machine gun turns also. Get a little bit of resistance as I try and get around. It's really smooth right here, but then I get a little resistance right there, but that's okay. So then we put these together. So I'm just going to do a test fit before I put any glue on, because we've got three holes here, bing, bang, and bong. And I want to make sure it all goes together nice before I put any glue. Looks like we're fine at the back and the sides, but we got a little bit of gap going on here at the front. So why is that? Is it a barrel? Is it this? I believe this is supposed to tuck this. It doesn't want to line up. Not sure what the problem is there. This side is fine. I have to convince it a little bit. This doesn't want to go down at all. Yeah, our piece in here is interfering with the fitment. And I'm not sure why. Let's just try taking this out and see how it fits. Oh, now it fits fine. So it's actually the gun, the barrel is causing the issue. So what's the problem with the barrel? That's in all the way. It's just a matter of getting it lined up. And see, now I've got this side in, this side doesn't want to fit. So why? Oh, there we go. Oh, no, see. What is going on with you? Why don't you want to fit? Let's try the opposite. If I get this, the barrel doesn't really sit in the top, but I'm going to try a little test here. Put it in the top first and see if I can line the bottom up. And that would be a no. One side in, the other side don't go. Oh, I got it. I got it. That is a challenge, all right. By now, any glue that I had put on those pegs would have already cured and be useless. So what I am going to do, now that I have this done, I'm going to kind of do this section by section. I'm going to see how much pressure my little clamps do. If these do too much pressure, then I can't use them. Okay. If I can get away with putting a clamp on here, yeah, see, if I put a clamp, it separates it, right? And I don't want that. It's too much pressure. I can't really use rubber bands, so I'm going to have to try and use tape. But unfortunately, we can't. So I'm going to start off with my extra thin right there. Any spots that it might actually be touching that piece, we're just going to hold that like this. And if I can, and see, I'm going to have to do this section by section. This, guys, is where I'm going to leave it. Okay. I'm going to have to put glue all around the perimeter of this. I'm going to have to do little by little as I go around to hold this thing. Kind of like an airplane wing. Similar kind of thing. Section by section. Glue it, hold it, let that part cure. Go around to another section. Glue it, let it hold it, let it cure. And just basically spend time doing that. And that's what I'm going to have to do with this. So this is where I'm going to end it for today, guys. I guess what we'll do next time is we're going to get doing some painting on it. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Off camera, I'm going to prime the rest of this. Next time you see this, it'll be all black. Be getting ready to put some color on it, okay? That's what we're going to do next time. And I will show you what I'm going to be doing as far as paint, okay? Do I have my picture ready to go? I believe I do. I think I showed this to you guys before. The color scheme that I do plan on painting this guy is going to be a challenge for me because I don't normally do this, but I want to do a modern tank with modern camouflage, and this is what it's going to look like. Sort of something like this. That's kind of what I'm going to be aiming for. The book actually does have options. I think it's on the next page. Some color painting options in there. We'll get into that next time, guys. Okay. So this is where I'm going to end today. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the new subscribers. You guys are awesome. We're getting closer and closer every day to that 1,000 mark, where I'll do a collaboration with my fiance and we're going to build them all together. So hit that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already. If you are amongst us 73% that watch my videos and don't subscribe, just do me that free favor and hit that subscribe button. And thanks again, guys, for watching. Thanks for Euala for the questions earlier, and we'll see you all in the next one.